first day of meteorological spring, but we have a blast of Arctic air heading our way tonight, of course, right? Good Monday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Just when we thought it was starting to get nice around here, the possibility for strong wind has prompted a wind advisory throughout the area. For more on what we can expect, let's send things over to meteorologist Janna Brown. Hey, Janna.
Hey, guys. Wind advisories for all of western Mass up through tomorrow morning about 10 a.m. Now, this is for wind gusting as high as about 50 miles an hour, but some of the high elevations areas like Mount Tom could gust over 60. And in fact, we've already seen that this evening. Looking at the wind chill advisories, this is only really for the higher elevations, but wind chills here could get to 20 below zero by tomorrow morning. This includes all of Franklin County, all of Berkshire, and then western Hampshire and Hampden counties, also into the Worcester Hills as well. So all of these advisories through tomorrow morning, and then things will gradually ease up as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Wind chills at 5 to 20 below zero, but the wind could lead to some spotty damage across the area. Some scattered power outages are going to be a possibility through tomorrow morning, even into the afternoon. I think wind will peak overnight and then it will start to gradually diminish tomorrow. Right now, wind is sustained at 20 miles an hour, so we are feeling about 10 degrees colder. Wind chill is at 26. Our actual temperatures at 36. Wind right now gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour in most locations, and temperatures are starting to slide back down into the lower and middle 30s. In fact, we already have some 20s in Pittsfield, Worthington, and Blandford, and the air temperature tonight should be getting down into the low teens for most, and that's where our wind chill is right now in Pittsfield. So by tomorrow morning, it's going to feel a whole lot colder. We are tracking a couple of snow showers and flurries coming across New York State tonight, and there's a chance even for some snow squalls across the hill towns in the Berkshires, mostly this evening into maybe the first part of the overnight. Other than that, we'll have a mix of clouds and clear sky. Temperatures will be down to about 20 degrees by midnight with wind chills in the single digits, and then again overnight wind chills approaching 5 to 20 below zero. A very cold start tomorrow morning. Watch out for those trash cans. It could be blowing down the street. We'll take a closer look at your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Janna, thank you for that. We are staying as well on top of developing news out of Chicopee, where a shelter in place was ordered at Chicopee Comp High School earlier today.
This after a threatening email was sent to students and faculty. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Granelli joins us live in Chicopee with the latest. Sarah?
Chris, Jordan, well, police are calling this email a hack, and when it was sent out, it actually sent the school into a shelter in place. The police department taking this very seriously. Now, this was a scene when our Western Mass News crews arrived to the scene. The Chicopee Police Department was called just before 12 this afternoon. After the threatening email was sent out, authorities searched the school along with the Mass State Police and K-9s. There was no suspicious evidence found. Students were eventually dismissed about 15 minutes earlier than usual, and Western Mass News has obtained that email that was sent out. One part says, I have 10 IEDs in classrooms. When they pick up any noise above 110 decibels, they go boom. The email goes on to say, so don't come near me, shoot me if you don't want boom. We reached out to the mayor's office about the situation. He sent a statement that reads in part, we are grateful that no threat has been found. The shelter in place has been lifted and the staff and students can return to their normal activities. Our law enforcement takes every threat seriously until there is no actual risk, and today that was proven. Now, police are investigating this incident, trying to figure out who hacked the email system to send out this email. Live in Chicopee, I'm Sarah Granelli for Western Mass News.
Sarah, thanks for that live report. Western Mass News is your vaccine authority. Governor Charlie Baker saying today that he expects the first shipment of the recently approved Johnson & Johnson vaccine to arrive in the state next week. Neither Bay State nor Mercy Medical Center have been told whether they'll be receiving any of the Johnson & Johnson doses. With a new vaccine in the mix, President and CEO of Bay State Health, Mark Kerouac, says he's hopeful anyone who wants a vaccine in Western Mass will be able to get a shot before the summer.
I believe that it's likely by May that we will not be facing supply shortages and will worry instead about people who are hesitant to get the vaccine.
Dr. Kerouac says all three vaccine options, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, are all extremely effective and safe. And Western Mass News is your vaccine authority. We're getting you answers surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine and its rollout. So grab your phones, open the camera app, and scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen for the latest vaccine headlines, vaccination sites, and to send us any vaccine-related questions. You can also call us with those questions at 413-846-0200 or email us at vax@westernmassnews.com. And a reminder that this is not to sign up and get the vaccine.
Turning now to the latest coronavirus numbers in our state over the last 2 weeks. The Mass Department of Public Health reports more than 1,200 new cases of COVID-19 today. So that brings the total number of confirmed cases in the Bay State to more than 551,000. And more than 30,000 of those are believed to be currently active. The state also reporting 26 new deaths from the virus. The statewide death toll stands at more than 15,800. New at 6, a former employee of Smith College is getting national media attention.
Jody Shaw resigned from her position in February, claiming the school created a racially hostile environment. She spoke to Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo, who has more.
Jody Shaw used to work in residence life at Smith College, a return to her alma mater. But in November of 2020, she says she was put on leave after filing an internal complaint about racial equity initiatives at the school and posting a video about it online. Shaw tells Western Mass News she was criticized during a professional development training about race, where she declined to speak in the group about her own race.
It was about public shaming, and it was about the fact that now, even if I abstain, my abstinence or my not showing up to optional groups, for example, could be and will be framed as an act of aggression or white fragility.
Shaw also says when she worked at Smith as a part-time librarian in 2018, she was told she couldn't perform a rap for students at orientation.
I was told within a week of this performance that I could not do it because I'm white. And this is significant because I was up for a job, and pulling this off in a successful manner would have been a real coup for my resume.
Shaw claims the second incident happened shortly after a 2018 incident, where a black student accused a white staff member of racial bias. Another incident that garnered national attention. As Western Mass News covered back in 2018, independent investigators say they did not find indicators that race was a factor in that staff member's actions. Fast forward to February of 2021, Shaw resigned, and her story has garnered attention from Forbes and Fox News.
Western Mass News reached out to Smith College for a response. They directed us to a letter that was issued by their president. In it, she says she doesn't normally comment on personnel matters like this one.
President Kathleen McCartney says in part, quote, "The employee suggests that Smith tried to buy her silence, but it was the employee herself who demanded payment of an exceptionally large sum in exchange for dropping a threatened legal claim and agreeing to standard confidentiality provisions." Shaw claims she did request a sum of money, but says it wasn't intended for her own use.
I thought, well, maybe I can get enough so that if I can't speak out about this anymore at Smith, I can help others do that.
Shaw started a GoFundMe for her legal bills and living expenses now that she's unemployed. It has raised nearly double the initial $150,000 goal, and Shaw says she plans to put everything over that goal into a fund for others in her position. McCartney's letter called Shaw's accusations baseless and addressed the racial equality courses for staff, saying in part, quote, "The aim of our equity and inclusion training is never to shame or ostracize. Rather, the goal is to facilitate authentic conversations that help to overcome the barriers between us, and the college welcomes constructive criticism of our workshops and trainings." Shaw, on the other hand, says she's filed a complaint with the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. Her lawyer confirms that's the prerequisite step to filing any type of discrimination lawsuit in the courts. For Western Mass News, I'm Audrey Russo.
Capacity limits for restaurants in Massachusetts are now officially lifted as the state heads into step 2 of phase 3. This comes as Governor Baker announced positive trends in the fight against COVID-19.
Now, Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane is live for us now in West Springfield with more on what this means for local businesses. Lindsay?
Chris and Jordan, today is the day restaurants across the state have been waiting for. Restaurants can now serve customers with no capacity cap in place. The manager of Crazy Seafood in West Springfield tells Western Mass News this is going to be a huge help to revenue, but they're still focused on making customers feel safe.
We try to keep as low as possible to make everybody feel comfortable eating here instead of rush everybody in.
He says with the capacity lifted, they can seat 20 more people at a time. However, there are still other rules in place that must be followed. Tables still have to be 6 feet apart. Tables are limited to 6 people, and you can only dine for 90 minutes. But this step forward is also good news for staff. With more customers allowed back in Crazy Seafood, the business is able to hire more employees. They say they're expecting to see a drastic change in business as the weekend gets closer and more people head out to eat. Regulations also loosened today for businesses like roller skating rinks and trampoline parks that can now open their doors to customers again. Live in West Springfield, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.